Welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday, May 22nd. I'm Coach Kevin.
Coach Ronnie.
And today's workout is Cinnamon Swirl. But before we get started in the workout, Coach Ronnie's going to warm us up.
For today's warm-up, we have 3 rounds of movement. We are starting with 10 scap push-ups. So you're just going to get into a push-up position, high plank, and what we're focusing on is moving through the shoulder blades to get warmed up. So retract the shoulder blades, squeezing them together, and then rounding back out, pressing them apart. We're going to go through 10 reps, getting that upper back warmed up, and we have pull-ups in today's workout. From there, you're going to hold on to a support beam or a doorway, whatever you have. You're going to go through 10 leg swings per side to your forward. So kicking out in front of you, very similar to what we do with the monster walk. All right, you're going to go again 10 each side. If you're able to do it without holding on to something, perfect. If not, again, support yourself to go through those leg swings. Once you finish the leg swings, we're going into 10 good mornings. So again, body weight, banded, or even if you have a weight to hold on to with those good mornings, just going to really try to focus on hinging, pushing those hips back, again, loading up through that posterior chain. All right, once you finish those 10 good mornings, you're back to your support beam, or again, if you don't need it all for it, we're going to go lateral leg swings now. So you out to the side, your foot should come across your midline, and then swing out as high as you can to your side. Again, 10 each side in that lateral swing. Once you finish that, you go into 5 overhead press per side. All right, so just a light dumbbell object, whatever you have, just to give some weight and activate that shoulder and pressing action. We're really trying to focus on getting good range of motion, getting that bicep by the ear, in good position overhead as you press through. Once you finish the overhead press, you're going to do 2 shuttle runs. So just a down and back, and you return back to the top for that second and third round. So again, it is 3 rounds in the warm-up.
Today's workout is Cinnamon Swirl. It's going to be a 20-minute AMRAP. It's going to start off with a 200-meter run, 5 strict pull-ups, 10 push presses, 15 deadlifts. The R.I.S.E weight for the men is 95 pounds, and then for the women, it's 65 pounds, and that's for the push presses and for the deadlifts. So each round, we're going to start off with a 200-meter run, so just mark out 100 meters out, and then obviously come back at 100 meters. Then we're going to be getting into doing the strict pulls. So Coach Ronnie's going to hop up on the bar. And when you hop yourself on the bar, you're going to notice that he stays in a nice active shoulder position, keeping his shoulder blades down and back together. You'll be able to see his ears and his neck. So as he goes to try to pull his chin above the bar, he's actually going to drive down on the bar, engaging his lats over just using the arms. Good. The big thing we're looking for is when we go to do these pull-ups here today is that we don't arch and lose that good tight position. And then we also want to make sure that when we're coming down from the pull-up that we're loading ourselves up for that next repetition, that we're not just bottoming out, going into that passive hang position where you'll see the shoulders way up by the ears and his scapulas are really loose and they're pulled apart from one another. We want to load ourselves up for that next repetition, keeping that tension as you're lowering yourself down and set yourself up for a good repetition and be in a nice strong position for each of the strict pull-ups. When we get done with strict pull-ups, the next movement that we're going to be doing is the push press. So the big thing that we're going to focus in on today with the push press is the weight itself hopefully should not be very heavy, but we're going to be making sure that we maintain doing push presses and not allowing ourselves under fatigue and getting into doing the push jerk. So a lot of times what's going to happen is we have a lot of reps here today, and as we're not paying attention and we're just trying to get our reps done, what will happen is we'll find ourselves re-dipping before we fully extend that bar in that push press. So Coach Ronnie's going to bring the barbell up to his shoulders. We're getting into that nice front rack position, keeping tension on the bar. His elbows are up nice and high. When we go to do the dip and drive in the push press, we want to load up that posterior chain. Glutes, hamstrings, quads, lower back, keeping that torso nice and vertical and perpendicular to the ground. Now when he explodes through, driving the leg straight, hip straight, big extension up overhead, bars in a solid overhead position stacked over the shoulders. Coach Ronnie turns to the side. We're going to go through that dip and drive again. Notice how vertical his torso stays. tension against the bar, explodes into the overhead position. Again, in the overhead position, the bar should be over the shoulders, over the heels, ears slightly in front of the arms, so that we're stacked and controlled and supported in the weight overhead. Good, you can bring that bar. The next movement that we're going to go into doing is the deadlift. So when we get into the deadlift here today, again, the weight should not really be a factor, but the number of repetitions is going to add up. So we want to be efficient from the beginning, using good form and making sure that we're not just going through those repetitions as fast as we can because of the weight being light. We want to maintain good body position and technique as we go through. So once Coach Ronnie gets his feet set underneath the bar, he's going to grab just outside of his legs. The big three things we're looking for here today is that his shoulders are lined up with the bar, that his back is nice and straight. So that means from his shoulder to his hip creates a nice straight line. And then the last thing we're going to look for is that his shoulders are higher than the hips. We don't want to just get bent over into that good morning position in the deadlifts here today. So utilize that posterior chain. So now Coach Ronnie goes to lift the bar, driving the heels to the ground, trying to lift up that chest, using again that posterior chain all together. When he loads himself up by returning the bar to the ground, he's driving the hips back, getting back to that good start position under tension. Again, loading up the hamstrings, loading up the glutes, loading up that lower back all together, and keeping that upper back nice and active as well too. Driving the heels to the ground, lifting up that chest as he does each one of the repetitions. So that will be the form and the technique that we're going to be looking for in the deadlifts here today. The modifications that we're going to obviously have to use today are really going to be dependent on your ability to do the pull-ups and the equipment that you have. So the big one first, let's talk about the pull-ups. If you don't have any pull-ups whatsoever, what we want you to do is either do the ring row variations that we've done so far with these at-home workouts, or the wrapping the towel around a post if needed for those body rows. And then the last option for doing any of the pulling type of motion today will be the bent over row. So we'll have Coach Ronnie demonstrate the bent over row. Again, the big thing that we're going to be looking for here is that his torso stays parallel to the ground. He's staying nice and low. As he goes to bring the barbell towards his chest, he's going to drive his elbows back, squeezing together tight. You notice Coach Ronnie keeps his elbows in close to his body, not flaring them into the outside. The big thing that we want to focus in on here is staying low to the ground with that torso. Under fatigue, you'll find yourself starting to creep up, and then you almost turn it. And so we want to make sure that doesn't happen. Obviously, this is a last resort due to the fact we are doing 15 deadlifts at the ground as well too. We don't really want you to be in that bent over position any more than you have to. So we would recommend doing either the ring rows, any of the bar rows, or the towel variation row before doing the bent over row with the barbell. If you only have one dumbbell, the R.I.S.E weight for the men will be 50 pounds. For the women, it will be 35 pounds. And that would be for the push presses and for the deadlifts. If you have 2 dumbbells or 2 kettlebells, the R.I.S.E weight will be 35 per hand for the men and 25 per hand for the women. So let's continue to warm up, figure out what modifications you're going to have to use for the workout today, and we'll come back and talk about some strategy. Strategy that we want to use today in order to get the most out of the workout is on that run, obviously we want to mark out 100 meters going out and then be able to run that 100 meters coming back in. The big thing about the run is you do want to run fairly quickly, push that pace a little bit due to the fact that it's not an incredibly long distance. And number 2, you're going to be going into doing some strict pull-ups, so not very technical movement, but something where you are going to be able to need to control your breathing and be able to stay tight in those repetitions. So again, that run should not look like a dead sprint, but again, push that pace on that run. Maybe take a breath or 2 before you hop up on that bar to start your strict pull-ups. Now with the strict pull-ups, if you have 1 or 2 strict pull-ups, what we would recommend doing today is doing those 1 or 2 strict pull-ups and then going into one of the modifications that we spoke about earlier. Either doing the ring rows or doing a bar row or a towel row against a post, and then lastly that bent over row. This way we can make sure that you're getting some work done in that strict pulling motion before trying to modify it in order to keep continuing and moving on in the workout.
Alright guys, on the push press and the deadlift, whatever options you have, whether it's barbell or dumbbell, just think about moving efficiently through each movement. to allow us to minimize the amount of reps or sets we have to do. It is 10 push presses and 15 deadlifts per round, but this is a 20-minute workout. So ideally, we would like to see you guys stay unbroken through the movements, but if you have to break it up, I think breaking it up into 2 sets max is an ideal position for us. So either 5 push press before we take a break and completing the 5, and with the deadlifts, either doing like a 10-5 or even an 8-7 is a good option for us if we have to break it up. A good strategy to come into the push presses after the pull-ups is to maybe take a couple breaths, let yourself get composed, and then try to go for a big set on the push press right after you get that composure piece in. Really try to focus on that deadlift, not getting out of position. Don't let that barbell get away from you. Try to keep that barbell really close to the midline, kind of barely grazing against the legs as you bring the barbell back down to the floor. Again, it is fast reps at a lighter weight, so it can be easy for us to kind of get out of position as we try to focus on maintaining good position throughout.
You want to talk about the single arms each round?
Oh yeah, so single arm, make sure if you are doing a single arm movement for the dumbbell and the push press, make sure we're going 10 reps on one side for the push press, 10 reps on the deadlift, or 15 reps on the deadlift on the one side each round, and then we switch to the opposite side for that next round. So one round will be on the left side, and when you return back to those movements, you'll go that next round on the right side.
All right. So get yourself ready, figure out the strategy you want to use for the workout here today, and we look forward to seeing some of your times and the number of rounds that you guys complete in this workout.